welcome back to C2 Novel and Vocab Week 14. And this video is for our novel. In this video, we'll be going over the difficult phrases from our novel. And this is to help with your cultural fluency. By becoming familiarized with different slang and colloquialisms, students will be able to relate to the novel and incorporate these phrases to convey their ideas more precisely. But what does all that mean? It basically means we'll be going over some hard phrases from our novel so that you can understand what's happening better and also use these phrases in real life. And in this video, we'll be going over the Lemonade War, chapters 4 through 6. If you don't already, go ahead and grab your novel book so that we can read together. Are you ready? Please turn to page 42 to page 43. That's the very beginning of our chapter 4. And we're going to start at the last paragraph on page 42. You ready? Read along with me. It says, "A fly buzzed by Jessie's ear. They've been having a problem with flies because of their sticky lemonade spills on their stand. And she cocked her head to one side to shoo it, since her hands were busy with the money. And that's when Jessie looked up and saw Evan standing there, staring." But what does it mean here when it says, shoo it? Shoo, did they just spell our shoe like what we wear on our feet incorrectly and put double O? Shoo it means to make a quick gesture to make something or someone go away without using your hands. So you can say shoo by going with this, or you can say shoo like with your head like that. Both kind of rude. Usually this is done as a wave of a hand or a head movement, like I just showed you. Or shoo is an old term that mimics the sound people make when they're trying to scare animals away or other unwanted things like bugs or insects. It's used as a command to drive something away. So if I saw like a dog coming after me and I was afraid of dogs, I would say, shoo, shoo, go away, shoo, shoo. A lot of people also did this back then when they were in the wild hunting and they saw bears. They would say, shoo, shoo, like that. So it's really an onomatopoeia, a sound word. Why is this phrase used though? Shoo is short and the sounds similar to sounds people might use to encourage animals or, again, pests or insects to move. It's easy to remember and doesn't require much physical action. So an example that we can say is, she shooed the cat away from the table during dinner. So you say, shh, shh, go away to a cat who's on the table, right? Or you can say, the teacher shooed the students into the classroom while the bell rang. Here, this shoo would not be shoo, shoo. It would be like shh. I'm sure you've seen teachers do shh before too, right? Why do we make that shh sound? It's because we've been using it for many, many years. So as you can see the pictures here, we're trying to shoo away with our hands, meaning go away, or that other boy who's saying shoo, shoo, go away. So if you see a bug or an insect coming after you, be like, shoo, shoo, and then you can make it try to go away by saying it. Now, let's go to page 45. I'll start at the first indent. So not the first paragraph, but the second big paragraph, okay? Let's start reading. It says, But when these ideas had finished bouncing around her brain, and when her breathing had returned to normal, and her fists weren't clenched at her sides anymore, she knew that what she really wanted was to get the old Evan back, the one who was so much fun to be around, the one who helped her out of every jam. What does it mean here to help her out of every jam? Are we talking about grape jam and strawberry jam that we put on our bread with peanut butter? No! Here, what does it mean, jam? A jam is a difficult situation where it's hard to find a way out. It's like, kind of like being stuck. Here it means helping someone out in trouble. So here it means that Evan used to help Jessie out every time she got in trouble. And if you kept reading, it would give us examples of when Evan helped her. The term comes from the idea of physical objects being jammed or stuck together tightly, like a traffic jam, like my next picture. It changed to describe a situation where things are often difficult or blocked. So jam here is used because it makes you imagine being in a tough spot where it's hard to move or to progress or to get better, just like being stuck in a traffic jam. So here the last picture is a man who's also kind of confused and in a head jam, I guess, we can say, and he didn't know what to do. So here Jessie is saying that she missed her older brother who used to help her out in all these difficult situations when she was in a jam. But now Evan's not being so nice. So when can we use this example in our real life? We can say, when her computer broke down during her presentation, he helped her out of a jam. Or we can say, oh no, they were in a real jam when they lost the key to their car. So they couldn't even open the car door because they were stuck and they're in a jam. So when have you ever been in a jam? Did anyone help you out of it? And who was it? What kind of jams do you usually face? Is it with school, with friends, with family? Let me know in your comments and write down in your little missions. Page 47. Let's go to page 47 for our next one. And I'll start from the second indent, which is our second paragraph. Are you ready? Good. It says, this last part was a problem because Jessie knew that she often thought people were nice and then they turned out not to be so nice. Case in point, those second grade girls. So Jessie decided it had to be someone who Evan thought was nice. Evan knew about these things. He was the one who had explained with his big arm around her shoulder. Jessie, those girls are making fun of you. They are not nice. So what does it mean here when it says case in point? I'm pretty sure none of you have heard this phrase, but if you have, very good. Case in point. This means they're introducing an example that proves or supports an argument. Kind of like when you guys write, for example, in your essays, but we don't write case in point in our essays. We just say it. The phrase case in point likely originates from legal language, kind of like what lawyers say and use, where a case is an example that fits or is in point to the issue at hand. So they're just saying, for example, in really fancy lawyer terms here. This phrase points to something specific as proof or evidence for the larger idea. So what is she saying here? Jessie is saying, oh, like those mean girls, case in point, or for example, those second grade girls were mean to her. So when can we use this? Instead of using this in our writing and for our essays, usually we just say it when we are speaking. So you can say something like, many students didn't study for the test. Case in point, half the class failed. Meaning, no one really studied, so what? What happened? For example, specifically, half the class failed. Yikes. Or you can say, dogs are loyal animals. Case in point, my dog waits by the door every day for me to come home. So they're saying dogs are loyal. That's my big idea. But case in point, my specific example is that my dog waits for me by the door every day. Oh, that would be so nice to have. So here, as you can see in the picture, I have my case, like in legal terms, where they have a file, and that's where they have their evidence or their example. Case in point. A lot of people like to use this when they're pretending to be like lawyers and to pretend like they're trying to make a big deal out of something. Case in point, blah, 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 blah. Now, let's go to page 48. You may already know this phrase, but I just wanted to go over it just in case. Let's go to the second paragraph, the second indent, where it says, okay. Everyone there? It's the smallest paragraph on the page. It says, okay, said Jessie, slapping the phone box shut and putting it back in the cabinet over the stove. Time for plan B. Now, what does plan B mean? Plan B is a backup plan to use if the first plan, called Plan A, doesn't work out. This concept of having a second plan goes back for many years. However, Plan B became popular as a term around in the 20th century, used to emphasize preparation for potential failures. So say that we have one plan, but just in case if that doesn't work, we have Plan B. Just in case Plan A doesn't work, Plan B will be the one to help us. This phrase is catchy and helps show the need for a different and quick and easy way out. So, when can we use this? A lot of examples. For first, we can say, the picnic got rained on, so they went to Plan B and watched a movie at home. So even though their Plan A was to go to have a picnic outside, but since it rained, their Plan B, the second choice, was to watch a movie at home. Or you can say, he didn't get the job he wanted, so his Plan B was to start his own business. So say that he wanted to get a job at a big company like Google. Again, I used Google as my example for my last video. But say that he wanted a job at Google, but he didn't get it. He failed. So Plan B, instead of going to a different place, he decided to make his own company. Woo. So sometimes you may have a Plan A, but sometimes it may not work out. But just make sure you have a Plan B ready so that you have a different route or way to do something. Plan B. Now, let's go to page 62. A big jump. Page 62. Did you like these drawings? These drawings actually is how kids in America learn how to do math with drawings like that. Page 62. Oh, okay. Let's go to the second indent and we shall start there. Ready? It says, oh, that was it. She was going to ruin everything. Show him up right in front of Megan, even before the school year started. Make Megan think he was just some stupid loser who couldn't even beat out his baby sister at a lemonade stand. Evan boiled over. So as you can see from the pictures, you may have a clue at what this means. Boil over means to be extremely angry, often in a way that is hard to control. This phrase comes from boiling liquid, like my picture here, that spills out of the container once it heats up too much. Have you ever seen your mom or dad cook something at home, but then it started to boil a lot and then the lid started to come off and then it started to spill over? That's what it means to boil over. Boil just means we're boiling in the pot. Boil over means it's going to spill over and out of the pot. So here it's symbolizing anger reaching a point where it overflows. The image of boiling liquid here captures how anger can spill over when it reaches a tipping point. Okay? For example, when can we use this? After hearing all the lies, she finally boiled over and yelled at him. She got super angry and she yelled. Next one, you can say, he boiled over when his teammate kept making mistakes during the soccer game. So you try to keep it in, just don't show your anger, but then poof, you boiled over. So here in this story, Evan is boiling over. He's getting super angry because Jessie got a cool 4th grader, Megan, to help with the lemonade stand. And now he thinks that Jessie's just trying to show her up or show him up and being like, our lemonade stand is better. So Evan got super angry. Yikes. Let's go to page 69. And we'll start from the first indent, which is the big paragraph at the top. Are you ready? Good. It says, Jessie went into the kitchen to make a turkey sandwich. The boys had left a slimy mess of peanut butter, Doritos, and yes, sticky puddles of lemonade mix. Jessie quickly looked in the trash can under the kitchen sink. There were 12 empty cans of frozen lemonade mix. 12? That was 96 cups worth of lemonade. 96 possible sales. Holy cow! Remember, Jessie only had 3, right? But now she knows that her brother has 12, which is 4 times more than her, which is a lot. So she says, holy cow! So does this mean like a holy cow, like my picture here, where, where they're holy and have wings and angels? No. Holy cow, what does it mean? It's an expression used for surprise or amazement, kind of like saying, wow, like the picture at the very end. It originated in the early 20th century, possibly as a way to avoid saying words that might be considered disrespectful or offensive, but you still wanted to show some shock. So basically, instead of saying a bad word for wow, you can just say, holy cow! It's a lighthearted exclamation that feels exciting without being offensive and rude. You can say, oh, holy cow! You scored 100 on the test? I can't believe it. Say that was a really hard test and someone got 100 and you were super surprised and you would say, holy cow. Or you can say, holy cow, that cake is huge. So you're like, wow, that's so big, to show your shock and astonishment for something really big. Holy cow, when can you use that? You can say other things like, holy cow, this cake is the most delicious cake I've ever eaten. Who knows? Page 74. Look at this brain here. Page 74. Everyone there? We're going to go to the first indent. Are you ready? It says, jerks. Evan said later when Jessie told him the whole story. They've got rocks for brains. But Jess, you gotta be on the lookout for girls like that. I'll keep going. Standing in Megan's front hall, Jessie stared at Carly. Something inside her told her Carly was a girl like that. For rocks for brains, excuse me, my brain is just a brain. I don't have any rocks in here. What does that mean? Can you guess? Rocks for brains describe someone who is being very foolish and not so smart. This phrase uses an image of rocks inside our head instead of having a brain inside of our head to suggest that someone is dull and not very intelligent. So what does it mean? If you don't have a brain in your head and you only have rocks in there, that means that you're not so smart, right? Rocks are seen to be as unthinking objects, right? It's nothing. It's just a rock. It doesn't grow. It doesn't think. So it's a humorous way to say that someone isn't thinking very well. You can say, for example, he has rocks for brains if he thinks that he can drive without gas in the car. So say that you are driving and then you have no gas. And it's like, oh, it's okay, I can make it. But then that would be, you would have rocks in your brain, rocks for brains, because, without gas, the car cannot go. Unless it's an electric car and it's been charged. I know what you're thinking. Or another example you can say is, leaving the keys in the door? Sometimes I wonder if I have rocks for brains. So in America, people don't have, our touch pad when we go inside our house. Everyone uses a key. So say that you left your key in the door and you went. That would be that you had rocks for brains because you left something so important there. Have you ever had a time when you felt like you had rocks for brains? Maybe you just made a very unintelligent and foolish decision one time. One time, it was raining and pouring out, and I didn't take an umbrella. I was like, oh my, do I have rocks for brains? And then I had to go back up my apartment, get my umbrella, and then go outside. It was very foolish of me, even though I knew that it was raining. Rocks for brains. Let's go to page 79. So this one isn't really an idiom or anything, but more of a cultural thing that you may not know. So I wanted to bring it up because it was in the first chapters 1 through 3, but I wanted to bring it up here. Page 79. Let's go to page 78, the last indent, okay? It says, as soon as the music had come on, customers had started drifting over. One of the moms across the street set up a sprinkler in her front yard, and soon all the kids in the neighborhood were running through the sprinkler and grabbing handfuls of Cheetos. Sprinkler. So here, in Korea, we don't have our front yard or a backyard because most of us live in a very tall apartment, right? But here, a sprinkler is, during the summer, a lot of people will put out a sprinkler. It's kind of like water and it goes back and forth. And usually it's to water the garden or just to water the grass if there has not been some rain. So a lot of people would set up a sprinkler on a hot summer day, and then kids would, wear their swimming suits or just regular clothes and just run through the water as it goes back and forth because it was a way to stay cool in the hot summer. So say that a lot of you go to little streams here in Korea to, escape the summer sun. But in America, we would often set up a sprinkler to escape the summer sun and get super wet and have a lot of fun. So, just in case if you didn't know what a sprinkler was, it was just to have people cool off during the hot summer. So, let's keep going. On page 83. Let's start from the middle where it says, where are you going? Right here. Where are you going? Where are you going? She asked. Down to the track, said Paul as he strapped on his bike helmet. We put pennies there this morning, so we're gonna get him now. Squash, you wanna... Yo! Shouted Evan. Might be, muttered Paul. So, see ya, he said to Jessie. My be. You also may already know this phrase, but let's go through it. My be is a slang way of saying my bad, meaning oops, I made a mistake, or oops, I'm sorry. So instead of saying my bad, meaning it was my fault, we take out the bad and just put be. My be. My bad started as a casual way to take responsibility for a small mistake, especially popular in sports culture. It's short for I am at fault, and my be is a shortened version. So the fault is because of me, or I am the one at fault. So you can just say my bad, my be. You can say both. It's a quick and casual way, often used between friends when a little mistake has happened. So you can say, oh, oops, my be, I didn't mean to step on your foot. Or my be, I forgot to bring the snacks. So just like for little mistakes. So say that you made a huge mistake with your mom, right? Or maybe you were caught cheating on a test. You don't just say, oops, my be. Then you would get even in more trouble. For serious mistakes or for serious things, you shouldn't say my be, or else the punishment might even be increased. Again, my be is only for a friendly way for small mistakes. So you didn't mean to step on someone's foot, but you accidentally did. So you say, oh, oops, my bad, I'm sorry. Oops. And for our last one, let's go to page 86. And you know what? Honestly, I didn't know what this one was, so I had to look it up. Maybe it's a new saying that people are, saying these days. Page 86. Let's start from the very top. It says, we're not splitting, said Evan. The guy said I could keep it all. The money that he made from the lemonade stand. Right, said Paul. All for a good cause. That's not fair, said Jessie. Sure it is, said Evan as he got on his bike and pushed off. In case you didn't know, that's what it's like to have friends. Evan crossed the street. Ouch, said Paul. TTFN, Jess. He followed Evan. Jessie was left standing alone in the driveway. TTFN. What does that mean? Why can't we just say goodbye? I just gave away what it meant. But it basically means goodbye. But what does TTFN actually stand for? It means ta-ta for now. It's a playful way for saying goodbye temporarily. When we say goodbye, we can also say ta-ta. Ta-ta was used in British slang as a casual way to say goodbye. So the phrase ta-ta for now was popularized by a character, Tigger, in the Winnie the Pooh series. You guys know who Tigger is from Winnie the Pooh? It's the little tiger. But he's the one that would always say ta-ta for now. It's a friendly and cheerful way to say goodbye for now, meaning you'll see the person soon again. Or you can say see you later. So I don't know why we just could say ta-ta for now, but I guess it's shortened and people say TTFN now. It says TTFN, I'll call you back when I get back. Or she waved as she left saying TTFN, see you tomorrow. So instead of just saying see you later, we can say just the letters, TTFN. I don't know how many people actually say this in real life, but maybe it's a new and upcoming phrase where the younger ones are saying it. TTFN. So now, for our mission. I have a question for you. It says, what are the 2 meanings for WHJ Club? Remember, there are 2 different names for it. Remember to write down your name, class, and week, and also the 2 meanings of WHJ. And now it is time for you to review and self-study. This is for contextual mastery. Review all of the phrases again. Please read it out loud. And reread the novel where these phrases came from to now truly understand what it meant fully. And after that, go ahead and complete your novel homework, and we'll stop there. I'll TTFN, and thank you for watching. Bye!